Imagine a frozen forest in the dead of winter. Snow blankets the ground. American soldiers huddle in foxholes, their breath visible in the icy air. Suddenly, the silence shatters. German tanks roar through the trees, artillery thunders, and paratroopers drop from the sky. This was no ordinary battle. It was Hitler's desperate final offensive of World War II, launched in December 1944. Known as the Battle of the Bulge, it would become one of the bloodiest and most dramatic clashes of the war, a test of endurance, strategy, and courage that changed the course of history. By late 1944, the Allies were closing in on Nazi Germany from all sides. American, British, and Canadian forces had liberated France after D-Day and were pushing toward the German border. To the east, the Soviet Red Army was advancing relentlessly. Adolf Hitler, holed up in his Berlin bunker, refused to accept defeat. He believed one bold strike could turn the tide. His plan: launch a surprise counterattack through the Ardennes region, a rugged, forested area spanning Belgium, Luxembourg, and northeastern France. The Ardennes was an unlikely choice. It was thinly defended by inexperienced American troops, many fresh from basic training. The dense woods and poor roads made it seem impassable for large-scale armor. But Hitler saw opportunity in the element of surprise. He gathered his remaining elite units, the 5th and 6th Panzer Armies, including the notorious SS divisions. Over 200,000 German soldiers, 1,000 tanks, and thousands of artillery pieces were secretly moved into position under the cover of bad weather, which grounded Allied reconnaissance planes. The goal was audacious: punch through Allied lines, capture the key crossroads town of Bastogne, and drive to the Meuse River. There, they would seize Antwerp, the vital Allied supply port, splitting the British and American armies in two. Hitler hoped this would force the Western Allies to negotiate peace, buying time to face the Soviets. On December 16, 1944, the attack began at dawn. Fog and snow blanketed the front. German forces struck with overwhelming force, catching the Americans completely off guard. The first waves hit hard. In the north, near the town of Losheim Gap, German paratroopers and infantry overran US positions. Tanks from the 1st SS Panzer Division smashed through roadblocks, their treads churning up the frozen earth. American soldiers, many from the 106th Infantry Division, were scattered and outnumbered. Entire units were encircled and forced to surrender, the largest US capitulation in the war, with over 7,000 men taken prisoner. Further south, the German push created a deep bulge in the Allied lines, hence the battle's name. Villages burned as fighting house to house raged. The cold was brutal. Temperatures dropped to 20 degrees below zero. Soldiers suffered frostbite, and equipment froze solid. One of the darkest moments came near Malmedy. On December 17th, a convoy from Battery B of the 285th Field Artillery was ambushed by the 1st SS Panzer Division. Over 80 American prisoners were lined up and machine-gunned in a snowy field. Only 18 survived. The Malmedy massacre shocked the world and fueled Allied resolve. By day's end, the Germans had advanced up to 50 miles in places. Panic spread through Allied headquarters. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander, called an emergency meeting. "The present situation is to be regarded as an opportunity," he declared. There would be no retreat. As the German spearhead drove westward, they aimed for Bastogne, a vital road junction in Belgium. If captured, it would allow the panzers to fan out and encircle Allied forces. But Bastogne was held by the 101st Airborne Division, the famous Screaming Eagles, under Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe. About 11,000 paratroopers and a few tank destroyers dug in. They faced 45,000 Germans with superior artillery and tanks. The siege began on December 20th. German shells rained down day and night. Supplies ran low, ammo, food, medical aid. The wounded piled up in makeshift aid stations. Yet the Americans held. On December 22nd, a German delegation approached under a white flag. Their commander demanded surrender. McAuliffe's famous reply? Nuts! The paratroopers fought on, turning Bastogne into a fortress amid the snow. To the south, General George S. Patton's Third Army was racing north through blizzards to relieve them. Patton's men covered 100 miles in 3 days, a feat of logistics and grit. On December 26th, after a fierce battle, the 4th Armored Division broke through. "The heat from those boys is terrific," Patton radioed. Bastogne was saved. The stand at Bastogne became a symbol of American defiance. It blunted the German advance and bought time for reinforcements. For the first week, bad weather favored the Germans. No Allied air support, limited reconnaissance. But on December 23rd, the skies cleared. Over 5,000 planes from the US 9th Air Force and RAF took to the air, pounding German columns. Fuel shortages crippled the panzers. Hitler's offensive relied on capturing Allied supplies, but the advance stalled. German troops, many teenagers or wounded veterans, were exhausted and undersupplied. Eisenhower coordinated a massive counteroffensive. British Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery attacked from the north, while Patton pushed from the south. The Bulge began to shrink. In the north, the 82nd and 101st Airborne held the line at Elsenborn Ridge, a natural barrier that stopped the German drive cold. Their artillery and infantry inflicted heavy losses. By early January 1945, the Allies had retaken most ground. The battle ended on January 25th, with the front line roughly where it started, except for the thousands of American lives and countless scars it left. The Battle of the Bulge was the largest and bloodiest battle fought by US forces in World War II. Over 600,000 Americans saw combat. Casualties were staggering: 19,000 killed, 47,000 wounded, 23,000 missing or captured. German losses were even higher. Around 100,000 casualties, 600 tanks destroyed, and irreplaceable elite units wiped out. The Wehrmacht never recovered. The battle exposed Allied vulnerabilities, but also their strength, adaptability, air power, and unbreakable spirit. It delayed the Allied push into Germany by weeks, but ensured the Western Front held firm. Hitler's gamble failed spectacularly. With the Bulge crushed, the Allies resumed their advance. By May 1945, Germany surrendered. The battle paved the way for victory in Europe. Today, the Battle of the Bulge is remembered not just for its scale, but for the human stories. From the battered bastards of Bastogne to the ordinary GIs who endured the cold and chaos, it highlights the sacrifices that ended the war. Museums like the Battle of the Bulge Memorial in Bastogne preserve the tanks, artifacts, and memories. Veterans' accounts remind us of the cost of freedom. In an era of division, the Bulge teaches unity under pressure. Soldiers from diverse backgrounds, farm boys, city kids, immigrants, fought as one. Their heroism ensured the defeat of tyranny. The Battle of the Bulge was more than a military clash. It was a turning point where courage triumphed over desperation and resolve beat the odds. As the snow melted in the Ardennes, so did Hitler's dreams of victory. The road to Berlin and peace lay open. Thank you for watching. If this story of bravery and sacrifice moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more World War II history. What battle should we cover next?